Okay, so we've been working with Tarmac for over 10 years now. Initially, the services we were providing were along the lines of crushing and screening, primarily in the southeast region. And since then, the business has grown and the relationship with Tarmac has grown, and we're currently covering sectors within demolition, within civil engineering. We also offer plant hire services, but primarily our key service to yourselves is crushing and screening within the southeast region. Okay, so if we go back to the initial contract, which was seven years or so ago, we was covering 4 or 5 sites. Our relationship with yourself was at its infancy, and it was literally mobilising equipment to these 3 or 4 sites, crushing the material on site and moving on to the next one. So we're into our 3rd term year contract currently, and although we're offering much the same service in the sense we're crushing and screening, it's on a much larger scale now. We're covering, I'd say, 14 to 15 sites in the south east alone. Last year we crushed 500,000 tonne, and with that comes additional factors that we have to build into the service we offer, along the lines of the relationship with the site managers, making sure that we're constantly in touch with them to understand what their needs are, and sometimes before Tarmac management actually find out. Entwining our operators so that they feel as if they are Tarmac employees, and Tarmac employees feel that KKB is part of their group as well. And doing so, we create this network, and it's very much entwined, and we become a big part of what Tarmac is doing, and no longer just a subcontractor. We talk about the partnership, something that I believe Tarmac is trying to push through with its subcontractors. Phenomenal. I'd say phenomenal. I think first year we was one site, well, initially pre the contract was one site, 50,000-60,000 tonne. I think the first term contract was maybe 250,000 tonne. And last year, pre-COVID, or just towards the backdrop of COVID starting and the year completing, we did 500,000 tonne. So we've gone from a setup where we had 2 or 3 gangs on the road. We currently have 11 gangs on the road. And it's not just the southeast, we're now servicing the southwest. We've got contracts in the north, so we've become a national contractor. But the base has always been Tarmac Southeast. It's allowed us to grow. Well, it's within the word strategic. There's a strategy there. But I believe when we first started working with yourselves, you gave us the confidence and maybe the ambition to grow the division. There was a short-term plan, a quick fix plan, if I can say, a mid-term plan, and a longer-term plan. You guys had goals that you wanted to meet, and you realised to do so you didn't have the capacity in-house, and to meet those goals you had to bring on a contractor that would work with you. So from day one there was a strategy, maybe a little informal, but there was definitely a strategy there, and we've took that on board, and we haven't been shy. Like I said, back then we was a smaller outfit, and we maybe didn't have the resources in place to manage the growth. So we built that growth with the support of yourself, and that is where the strategy comes into it. It's the commitment to each party and the trust that we've built up over the years. The market itself is a very intense market in the sense the equipment isn't off the shelf. The setup isn't cheap. It's a long-term commitment on our part. So to be offered a 3-year contract, it gives us confidence that yes, we've got 3 years there. We're willing to put the investment in. We're quite lucky we've got a chairman who's very ambitious, and he feeds that through the rest of the team. So a commitment of a 3-year term contract gives us the fundamentals. It gives us the security. Primarily, the equipment is vertical crushers and screeners, and power screen, and Red Knight 6, sorry, RM crushers and screeners. So, and again, they're off-the-shelf crushers, but to make the contracts work, they have to be bespoke. So we have to modify those equipments. We talk to technical. So that's one of the key things that I believe we do that it's different to our competitors. We have relationships with our supply chain to advise them on where we think things aren't quite right, or if things could be done better. And through that, I believe the crushers that are on the market now, we've invested a lot of time in that and R&D in that to get the equipment up to the levels they're currently at, and we're continuously doing that. So we have a budget set aside where we continuously look at ways of improving the current setup to drive costs down, to give us the edge against our competitors, and our supply chain work with us on that. And it's very similar with our relationship with Tarmac. We try and pass that through and have that relationship with our supply chain. So the network isn't just Tarmac and KKB, it's my supply chain into me, into yourselves. So we run diesel electric crushers, we run hybrid excavators. The technology isn't quite there for the rest of the equipment, but we've got a roadmap. We've got a clear idea and a strategy of where we want to be by 2030. And listen, we could go out and buy all hybrid equipment today, all diesel electric, but if the technology isn't there, then the knock-on effect is efficiencies will come down. So therefore, it's balancing the two and to know when's the right time to invest in the right equipment. We've got a roadmap to go electric with all our vehicles, putting in stations in our workplace. But again, it's working with our clients to make sure they're working at the same speed as our plans are, because there's no point us bringing all these equipment to the site and you guys haven't got the infrastructure ready for us. And that is where we talk about the collaboration, the strategy that's entwined, and we can build it together. So we've got a in-house transport team. I've got my own transport manager. We own our own fleet of low loaders, HEV vehicles, and like I said, we've got a network of sites nationwide now. So the demand comes into the hub via Andy Shaw, the director. He will work through the workflow and decide what's the most cost-effective way, most efficient way of mobilising equipment whilst meeting the customer's demands. I'm not going to say it's easy, and there's a lot of hard work that goes into it. So the simple answer is hard work and planning, and the relationships with the customer, so the flow of information is coming in at the right times. And that's key. The collaboration is the only way it can work. So when initially we started off 1 or 2 crushers servicing a few sites, the safety mindset was there, but the infrastructure wasn't necessarily there. So with Tarmac's safety team, we have grown that. Our ISOs and a management system are now very robust, and a lot of that has come about with communication with yourselves, the managers and the health and safety team. We understand safety first. Lives are far more important than the bottom line. So we've pushed very big on that, and I'll be honest enough to say a change in mindset over the years, and it's about sustainability. So safety is paramount to that. And that has grown, and I think we did a safety seminar with Tarmac in the South East 2019 where Tarmac invited its top 15-20 suppliers, and we had an open forum. We did a presentation there, similar to what we're doing today, discussing how much Tarmac had supported us, how we'd created this partnership together, and we focused in on safety and how together we had grown that part of the business and the benefits that Tarmac had brought to us with their knowledge. It was very, very productive. Like I said, we were sat there with our competitors, but it's nice to be able to sit there without worrying about, oh, they're my competitor. We were there as one, and we was able to share ideas, which I don't think I've ever been in that kind of scenario before, in such an open environment with clients and customers together. So very productive. Okay, well, we've just gone through Brexit and we've just gone through COVID, so and I believe we've come out stronger. So It's a very uncertain market. It's very positive at the moment. It's very difficult to gauge what the market will be in 2 to 3 years, and that's where the versatility of a company is going to be key, and that's what got us through COVID and the Brexit. The fact that we was able to adapt while still servicing our clients' needs. But with sites closed down, we were still talking, even though there wasn't much activity. It was planning ahead and getting a feel for how we both perceived the current situation. So I believe if we have gone through that and come out stronger and maybe a little bit wiser and a little bit more mature, I believe the company is in a much more stable position than it has ever been, and we've got the confidence, that we've got the trust of Tarmac to plan ahead and invest in areas that need investing, which may not bring returns straight away, but it's all about the sustainability factor. It's the approach. It's the long-term approach, rather than sometimes in this industry we get sucked into the demands of this moment, of today, of tomorrow, and sometimes we can lose focus on the bigger objectives. And the fact Tarmac and other people in the industry have a clear roadmap of where they want to be, we can bunny hop onto the back of that, adapt it to meet our company, because we're not identical. See what's happening in the industry, understand the government, where they want to go, how the population, the general public view things, and gear the mood, and then try and adapt and grow towards that. So sustainability for us is our people, is massive. It's to have a group of intelligent people from a wide spectrum that give us a balanced view, and us as directors and owners of the business taking those viewpoints on, sharing our ideas with our customers. Listen, the climate doesn't even need to be really mentioned. In a sense, it's a necessity. It has to happen. So we've got to focus on that. We've got a roadmap to achieve certain goals. And listen, those goals can change, but the end goal is to become as efficient and carbon and climate friendly as possible. And obviously having the financial stability within the business to allow us to achieve those goals, because let's be honest, there will be short-term pain, but at the end it's about creating a company that is here for the long haul.